Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
As advertised, as promised, Jeff Iafrate here in the house for Darren McCarty. And ironically enough, we're at the Darren McCarty golf outing. We're at the links of Novi. D-Max out here running around. We'll hear from him at some point today. Happy to have you all with us wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening. And remember, you can jump in, get involved with the show on the YouTube chat thread, live on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Click subscribe, and you are in there. Who we got here on site? We got Westy, Alex Westfall here in the building. We do have the legend killer, Sam Flannel.
Legend killer.
Absolutely. So everybody just calm down. He'll be here smashing people's dreams and trying to tear down legacies and all that. He'll be on brand. He does have the Debo flannel on. You have a camera today, Sam Flannel?
Yes.
All right,
yes.
You do. It's a Friday edition, Debo flannel edition. Give it to him.
That's my bike, punk.
There he is. All right, absolutely. So he's on brand. He's on budget. We are ready to rock. We are ready to roll. And guys, I do have to tell you, Detroit Dabber in the YouTube chat thread says, yo, as is usual tradition, he is in there first. Dom Rivera, Big D, happy Friday, people. That is true. We did make it to Friday. But, Jeff, I have to come clean about something that happened to me this morning, as a matter of fact. And you guys know I like to do this from time to time. We're going to get into all the football stuff.
Right.
I have a Michigan question for the Michigan people. Next week's the college football extravaganza. But Juicy J, I have to come clean about something this morning where I like to put a little cream cheese on my granola bar, all right? Which the granola bar is immaterial to the conversation. Don't start with me, okay? All a breakfast item is a delivery mechanism for cream cheese.
That's it.
That's all. That's its purpose.
Yeah.
That's what it's there for. I go into the fridge, I get the cream cheese out, and my wife, who used it last, had sealed the package and folded the package up on it to the point where I thought it was factory sealed. I mean, she is Jeff, and you don't know about this yet. But
no,
you
not
will.
yet. No.
She is elite at folding the package, at wrapping presents, all that kind of stuff. Elite. And it was to the point, Jeff, where when I put the cream cheese back in the box, I felt inadequate about that because it was all crumbled up and nowhere near what she did. So, I mean, from that standpoint, Jeff, just remember this. When you get married in the future, you're always going to feel inferior. And it's just, for me, it started the day off in a bad place. It was the morning. I didn't,
It's too early for that.
You don't know how your day's going yet. You don't know if it's a good day or a bad day. But I started from behind the eight ball, but I'm back.
No, and listen, we talked a little before the show, and I said to you, in a way you feel disrespectful. To see the package look that beautiful, and again, wives, girlfriends, this is why we leave it to them. Right, this is to see the cream cheese package look that beautiful, Neal. You can't complain. This is it's kind of what we talked about with the headlight. Some things you just let them have.
Yeah,
and that's one of those things.
And I knew, and guy, I know what you guys are going to say before you say it. I know this audience. I know what you guys are about.
Cream cheese on a granola bar?
It took Don Rivera all of 8 seconds. Cream cheese on a granola bar? It's the most egregious thing that he's ever. And I knew that's the way you guys were going to go because that's what you guys do. And that's fine. Doughboy Steve, Neal dips his granola bars in cream of wheat. No, I don't, because cream of wheat's not.
No.
It's not part of the breakfast package for anybody out there. Nobody here, before they came out to the Darren McCarty golf outing at the links of Novi, nobody had cream of wheat. They're not offering cream of wheat in there for you to have for breakfast. They're not doing it. And I'm not going down that road.
No, Neal, it's like trick-or-treating and someone gives you candy corn. It's not happening.
No.
And if it is happening, you're not taking it. So, listen, I mean, cream cheese on a granola bar is probably the – I've seen much crazier things. That's not that crazy.
Absolutely. Robert Colosia, cream cheese on celery.
Okay,
I'll put it on celery. I'll do that. I will.
Well, yeah, it is. It's just cheese. I think people when they
it's
first
a delivery mechanism for cream of cheese. That's
Absolutely.
all the breakfast. This is a spoiler alert for the breakfast world out there. Everything is just a delivery mechanism for cream of cheese. For cream cheese. That's it. That's all it is. That is all it is. Doughboy Steve, do a golfer's poll. You know what? We got that, right? The capability for the YouTube polls? We got that?
Yep.
Oh, my guy Stick is out here as well. Stick's a legend, by the way, man.
He is.
Stick makes
he is.
everything
We
go.
miss Spencer, though.
Yeah, we do
Stick.
miss 5 to 7 Woodward heavyweights
Yes, sir.
here today. Do a golfer's poll. I got to check back in. Do you guys like golf or no? Pretty simple. Yes or no? Do you like golf?
If you saw my swing, you'd probably know immediately with me. I just went to the range with Stick, Fish, and Alex, and my God, we'll leave it there. We'll leave it there. If you saw my form, you get sick. So I'm a no, but I like watching golf. I don't mind it.
And I do want to see if the numbers have improved, because like our audience, it's a hard line. Like the people that like it really like it, and the people that don't like it, they really don't like it. Mm-hmm. But I'm curious to see, like with all the news of all the PGA Tour and the Live Tour and the guys leaving the PGA Tour and all that kind of stuff, I'm curious to see if maybe all that golf exposure has put a dent in the anti-golf crowd, because I think we've proven that if you beat us over the head with something, we'll relent and we'll give in at some point.
Oh, absolutely. And you talk about the Live Tour. I think now golf getting a lot more publicity, it's better, especially for me, a guy that has never really been interested in golf. But, yeah, I like golf. I mean, especially coming out to all these outings, man, you see what it's about, and you see the people, and you see the individuals, and I like it, man. Honestly, as bad as I am at golf, I don't mind playing. I like it. And I see a lot of answers coming in already.
Tammy Chin says, good afternoon, Big D family. Tammy, good to see you in the YouTube chat thread here as well. Tuck, I just don't understand the hate for cream of wheat. We love it at my house. No, you don't, Tuck. You're being a contrarian. You wanted us to read the comment. That's why you said that. You don't love cream. You don't, quote, love cream of wheat at your house. But we are having a good time here out at the Darren McCarty golf outing. We're at the Links of Novi. Who do we run into today? Calvin Johnson's out there. Rob Sims is out there. As you might expect with the Darren McCarty production, it's going to be, a star-studded affair. And, it's people, and I do like to see this because it does look like it's working. 60% of our audience says yes, they like golf. So we're making headway. Stick loves golf. He hurt his wrist, though. He can't play anymore. That's kind of sad, though. He lost a lot of his summer, man.
And listen, nothing's more disheartening, Neal, than going out there to the range and Stick with one hand crushes a golf ball. And
Did you really?
I mean, it went about 220.
Oh, don't, yeah, you know.
It went about 220.
And you know what Adam said on the morning show? He self-proclaimed I can hit a ball about, what did he say, 320, 330?
He said 350.
Holy. Okay.
I've seen it.
Have you seen it? You think Adam Baydoun could do it?
No. No, there's no way Adam Baydoun can hit the golf ball farther. No way.
I gave him the benefit of the doubt. This is one of those Lions predictions that I have. If all things go right, Neal, he swings hard, he hits it perfect.
It bounces
it's
off the cart
downhill.
path.
There's a nice wind.
30.
He can do it. He can do it. I've seen Adam hit it, 270. So if he got a hold of one.
The ball just has to travel another 80 yards, Neal.
I got you. Michael Daniel says, I love golf. I wish that I was there. It is a good time out here, and it is good to see everybody here at the Darren McCarty golf outing. But, just real quickly, 60% of you, yes, on the YouTube chat poll. So that's pretty impressive.
It's a healthy number.
Derek Oakley says, who's going to be closer to the playoffs, the Pistons or the Lions? I say Pistons. 10th seed, play-in seed, 35-win predictions. We'll get into that in a little bit. And we talked about this to some degree yesterday, but remind me to get back to that, because
absolutely.
I took a lot of slander for my thoughts on it, but we will get back to it. But we have a lot of football certainly to get to. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but this is the last weekend without regular football, be it college. We get to college next week for the week 0, whatever that goofy name that they have for it before that starts, and then we're off.
We're locked in. You're glued to the seat. And we'll be here. Everyone will be here.
You feel it?
Oh, I feel it.
Feel it in the air right now?
I'm itching. I don't know if it's the hopium, the lack of hopium, but again, I'm itching. College football, NFL, Pistons, Red Wings. I cannot wait. The content is what really is the most important. More things we could talk about.
Noah Britton says, I want to be there with Megatron. He's out there. I saw him tee off just a couple minutes ago.
I feel you there. Megatron, my favorite player of all time. And I'll say this. I met him once, and every time I meet that man, it's kind of like the D-Mac effect. Every time you run into him, you're still starstruck. It does not change.
Tuck says, LOL, Neal, always think I'm lying. We do. All right, Tuck. He doubled down, so all I can do is take the person at their word and say, okay, you're one out of 330 million. You're one family that quote-unquote likes cream of wheat in your household. John Mark says the Lions defense will lose him 10 games. Is the offense good enough to win the other 7. And, John, that's a great segue. In the broadcasting game, Stick's familiar with this, we call that a segue because we're going to talk about a key component to that Lions offense when we come back, and that is, of course, DeAndre Swift, where he had some big words, Juicy J, about what his goals were and what he wanted to do.
He did.
And, you know, it's one of those things, and we've discussed this before. When you look at the Lions season, and everybody's got thoughts, right? We had the Jared Goff, 5,500 yards. Everyone's going to have 1,000 yards receiving, right? Sam Flannel. I mean, you know, people were saying it, right? Because what? It's 1,000 for Chark.
I didn't say 1,000 for Chark.
It's like Oprah, Neal. 1K for you.
Yeah.
1K for you.
I'm just recapping what people's thoughts were. It's 1,000 for Chark.
Some people have said it.
It's 1,000 for Hawkinson.
Nobody says 1,000 for Hawkinson.
Have they not?
I've heard 1,000.
Yeah.
Maybe not from you, Sam, but I've heard people say that.
I'm just giving you guys the recap of what we heard before we get into this. It's 1,000 for Chark. It's 1,000 for Hawkinson. It's 1,000 for St. Brown.
Well, that's happening.
But Neal, also, according to the chat, we did when you were out the one week, we let the chat decide the record. They came to 15-2. So now you got you got 3,000-yard receivers and you got 15-2.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, and yes, Dr. Dirty D, yes, we have 12 sacks for Hutch, defensive player of the rookie of the year.
Rookie
of the year, right?
Yes.
That's what those are Sam Flannel's words.
Absolutely.
And you had some interesting takes on DeAndre Swift as well. And we're going to get to it. Harrison Metzler says Hawk's not going to get 1,000. Well, which is it then? Because, again, and this is distant. This isn't something that's imminent. You look at the Hawk contract situation that's coming up down the road.
Right.
Option year's coming up.
It's a big year for him.
I'm just saying. You know, I'm just saying, those things are down the road. But, you know, when we recreate all of these things, and it's easy to say, right? It's, Chark will get 1,000 yards. And, St. Brown will get 1,000 yards. And you start working backwards from that. If all these things come true that everybody is saying, that we're all saying,
we're going undefeated.
15-2. You know, it's 15-2 as you said. But, you know, and look, Juicy J, it's sunny out here. It's still the summer. Summer's holding on. You have the hat, obviously, because we are outside. Mm-hmm. But for those that don't know, you do have luxurious hair.
Yes.
What's the key?
It's going to Lady Jane's. And I'll tell you this, guys. You come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win the car of your dreams. From Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac, Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, no appointment necessary, because it's wicked awesome.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Brandon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
Glad that we can finally start trying to get the stigma off of mental health that's been there for all these years.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Neal Ruhl here for oddstrader.com, the #1 site for all of your game day betting activity, play-by-play updates, live scores, and most importantly, guys, this is the biggest angle with OddsTrader, the best price from every sports book, from multiple sports books. You look at every game, they will give you the best price, all the odds. Don't give anything away. You don't have to sit there and waste time and then open one app, check the number, close that out, open another app on your phone, check the number, close that. Oh, I like the other price better. I'm going to go back there. Oh, the odds change. No, with oddstrader.com, it's a command center for all of your game day betting activity. Very, very easy, guys. Go to oddstrader.com. Download the OddsTrader app to your phone as well. Go to oddstrader.com and find your best bet. We are off and running live from the links of Novi. Darren McCarty golf outing today. Juicy J, Jeff Iafrate in for DMAC. My name is Neal Ruhl. Happy to have you guys with us. Sam Flannel. We got my guy, Stick, here on the ones and twos. Spencer Raxter back in the Woodward Sports Compound on Woodward.
The Dream Cruise.
The Dream Cruise weekend. Spencer had some controversial thoughts on the Dream Cruise yesterday, but I digress. In the YouTube chat thread, remember, you can get involved, click subscribe, and you have the ability to comment. Casey says, holy crap, flannel is whiter than white. Has he even been outside before today this summer?
I think I need chili peppers at this point. But you know what? I've learned over the years you have to just embrace your pale. I've never been tan for one day in my life except maybe a farmer's tan or something. But I've always been pale. I'm white as a ghost. I'm like Robert Pattinson in Twilight. It's okay. It's okay.
Creamy. I think creamy would be a better. Yeah. Stick weigh in on this. He is pretty creamy.
I think he just coined my new favorite phrase, embrace the pale. As an Irishman, I love this. I do embrace my pale. Like when I go on vacation and, you go with a chick, she likes to be in the sun. I have to be in the shade. I'm too white. I can literally last like 4 minutes in tropical sun. I'm like, all right, I'm good for the day.
All right, on our YouTube chat poll, do you like golf? 55% of you say yes. So we are making some ground here on Big D Energy as far as the golf fans. We can close that one out. Stink, I got a new one for you. We got a new YouTube chat poll since we're outside today. Do you tan? Like, do you get a tan? Because we're seeing from the contingent, Sam Flannel says no. Stick says no.
I get red.
Yeah, I got no words. I'm Italian.
Jeff, you're beautiful. There's nothing wrong. Look at that mulatto, beautiful tan skin. He's got the hair. I hate you, Jeff.
The sun gods love me.
That guy 62, Rack says flannel is the cream cheese to Woodward Sports Network. So,
the cream cheese.
That guy 62, good morning, Big D Energy family. I appreciate having everybody out here with us. So, that's it. We're just kind of chopping it up. It's a Friday. We're getting ready. Lions tomorrow at 1 o'clock against the Indianapolis Colts. Detroit City FC tomorrow in action at 7:30 at Keyworth. Huge match against Louisville, the best team maybe in the USL. They'll be in town. That place is already close to sold out. Stick will be in the building this weekend. So it's a big deal when Stick gets involved. Jack Harrington, I get tan. I'm Italian also, LOL. So,
Hey. See, my dad, he'll go out in the sun and he'll just get even – it's hard for us. I mean, you get darker, but, for my girlfriend's example, she's Dutch. So we'll go on vacation. She'll burn. So she kind of feels Sam's pain a little bit. It's no tan, you just burn.
Mike G, Flannel Sam, the melatonin killer.
Hey.
Oh, my God.
No, and Jeff, I have the opposite problem of you because my fiance is half Cuban. So, the exact opposite. She tans and I just burn like a lobster. It's terrible. But you know what? That's why I don't go out in the sun very often. That's why I wear a long sleeve flannel, even when it's hot outside. I don't know the temperature, but I'm starting to feel it.
Embrace the pale.
Embrace the pale. John Marks, Nate Steinwasser for USL MVP. Detroit Mercy product. I know Stick will be claiming him before it's all said and done. But, we were talking about the Lions. We were talking about DeAndre Swift. He had some big words about what some of the goals were for him. Mm-hmm. And he said he wants to be 1,000 running back. i.e. 1,000 yards rushing, 1,000 yards receiving. And, when you look at it, certainly is he dynamic? Yes. We know what the question mark is. Is he going to be durable enough to stay healthy in order to achieve some of those goals? But, when you look at it, Juicy J, this to me is another one of those things where you forget how, I don't know, dynamic is the word. But as a receiver, he did catch 62 balls last year.
He did.
He did have 450 yards receiving. Granted, he only was able to play in 13 games, which I was surprised it was that much.
Yeah.
Like he gets the label of, having injury issues and stuff like that. He did play 13 games, but
both years.
Let's just entertain it for a second though. With DeAndre Swift, 500, or 1,000. If he were able to pull that off, Jeff, then you're a playoff team, man.
Yeah, you are. And my opinion on it, listen, you said it best. He has the skill set to do it. I don't think it's crazy. And Jamison Williams missing half the season is going to help him. But if I have to give my opinion on it, Neal, I don't think he will. But I'm never going to knock a player for having high expectations. You shoot for the stars. But you have to think about it. When Christian McCaffrey did it, he had 150 targets receiving on the year. Like, DeAndre had half that last season playing in 13 games. So do I think he'll get the workload to get to that point? No, I don't. Although he has the skill set to do it, I don't think it's good for him to get that workload because we have questions about him being healthy. So why would you dump like Christian McCaffrey? We have questions about him being healthy because after that season he went for 1,000. He hasn't played in a full season since. So for my concerns over DeAndre's health, I don't think he'll do it, but definitely has a skill set to do it.
So I'll go to Sam Flannel on this because, again, he's the man that has guaranteed that DeAndre Swift will lead the NFC in rushing.
Yes.
Over the likes of Dalvin Cook, Christian McCaffrey, et cetera, et cetera. So I will go to you. Does this firm your stance, Sam Flannel?
I mean, first of all, I don't think he's going to get 1,000 rushing and 1,000 receiving. I believe only 3 people have done it in NFL history, Marshall Faulk, Christian McCaffrey, and Roger Craig. I just don't think there will be enough targets to go around for DeAndre Swift. I think guys like Amon-Ra, DJ Chark, TJ Hawkinson, even a guy like Josh Reynolds, Jamison Williams when he comes back, they'll take away too many of the targets. I see something more like 60 to 70 receptions for 500 to 600 yards. But I do think he will be more of a workhorse in the backfield. He'll be kind of that every down back. I know Jamal Williams will spell him from time to time, but all Jamal Williams has shown that he is in his pretty long career is a number 2 back. And DeAndre Swift, as I've said many times, Neal, the main reason is running behind that offensive line, especially if they're healthy, especially if a guy like Vaitai can give you something. That could be the best offensive line in the NFL, and they'll just have to – DeAndre Swift is just going to have to find the holes and run through them. That's the one thing that I wouldn't say I'm concerned about, but I think he's going to have more opportunities through the tackles.
I did want to ask you about that too, like the hard knocks thing.
Yes.
Where, he has that tendency to bounce it to the outside, and you see that with younger running backs as Juicy J struggles with the bee population here
bees,
with his, what do you have, Faygo lemonade?
Yeah, I got some lemonade. It was the worst mistake of my life because now the sugar, here come the bees.
Here come the bees.
But I do want to say one thing too. DeAndre, 1,000 yards rushing, I think he'll do that. The question I have is receiving, like Sam just said. Is you want to get 1,000 with this receiver room and TJ and these guys? I don't think so because you talk about him and Jamal Williams. Christian McCaffrey was all the Panthers had. He was on the field, I believe, 70% of snaps. So for DeAndre,
it's insane when you look back at that usage, man.
No, it's ridiculous. So I don't think he'll do it, but definitely rushing, I believe. So with this offensive line, you gotta.
But again, going back to it, Sam Flannel, the hard knocks thing, I don't want to ask you, did it concern you at all? Because I think a little more was made of it than what it is because he's still a young player in the NFL. And I think it takes a while. And I'll ask D-Mac this one of the times when we're doing the show together about what's that line where you learn. You learn when you become a savvy veteran. But, as far as that goes, did that concern you at all, seeing how – because he made his life, I'm sure, in high school and in college, that's how he made it, right? Like he could bounce to the outside and go around everybody. Well, in the league – the linebackers are as fast as you are.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a concern. I think it's good that Deuce Staley is pointing out that there are holes between the tackles that he could hit if he had the vision for him, if he could find them. And also on that drive, he had 4 carries for 20 yards. I don't really care how he gets them. That's 5 yards per carry. If he can get that, then he will lead the NFC in rushing. He will be maybe in the top 3 to 5 in the NFL for rushing if he gets 5 yards per carry. So I just think it's Deuce Staley being a good coach, trying to add more of an element to DeAndre Swift's game that has been somewhat lacking, but he's still young, like you said. He hasn't even played a full season. He's played 26 NFL games. That is still in your NFL infancy. Although for a running back, they don't last very long, but I expect him to add more of that element. I'm talking about DeAndre Swift in his game this year. And I just think Deuce Staley is trying to get that out of him. I think Deuce Staley is being a good coach because how did Deuce Staley make his living? Mm-hmm. Right up the middle. Even though DeAndre Swift's not the same player, there is going to be a gold mine of holes that offensive line is going to create. And DeAndre Swift just has to find them, and Deuce Staley encouraging him to, especially in the preseason when you can afford to make a few mistakes and clean things up. I don't see any negative. I think it's a good thing.
What about this? Jeff V., since we have you on the horn here, Sam Flannel. Jeff V. says Flannel is a vampire. Can you confirm?
Hey, I've actually made that I've said that before because I'm a big Twilight fan. So back in the day, I am a big Twilight fan.
Keep that in-house, Sam.
I am not ashamed.
Not everything's meant for public consumption, Sam Flannel.
Hey, no one's messing with him with D-Mac there, I'll tell you that.
But notice how D-Mac's walking away real quick, too.
Right.
Because he's not sure.
Hey, I mean, I'm closer. My voice just cracked. Damn. I am closer than the average human to being a vampire. I will say that, and I will leave it there.
Yo.
Sam Flannel, the sunlight killer, you know. So, that's absolutely it. Scott Klingler, hey, Hawk could get 1,000 if he stays healthy. But, we're getting a lot of 1,000 yards being thrown around. That's all I'm saying, everybody. I don't think that's unreasonable to address. 1,000-yard seasons are kind of getting handed out a lot. And I know it's the hopium season, right? I know we line up to take the needle. I get that. I understand that. But, we're kind of throwing around 1,000 yards pretty loosely out here.
Yeah, I think we got Jared Goff for about 6,000 passing yards, Neal, with all these receivers. But listen, there's only one football. So if I had to give my prediction, I don't think – I think Amon-Ra's, I've gotten written down for 1,000 yards. I think TJ will be close. I don't think he'll hit 1,000 yards. And I think DJ Chark will be somewhere under in that ballpark. I don't think you'll have multiple 1,000-yard receivers, because if you do, especially with that run game and how they're going to utilize DeAndre and Jamal, I just don't see it. They're not going to be airing it out every single play with Jared Goff. So I get the expectations, but take a chill pill.
All right, here we go. Motown Cool YouTube chat thread. No, Sam!
What's wrong with Twilight? It's a wonderful story. The cinematography is awesome.
Please stop.
The music, the
Please
soundtrack.
stop.
are you kidding me?
Dr. Dirty D, we still love you, Sam. Jack Harrington, wow, Sam, LOL. Motown Cool, never, ever, 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 ever say that out loud again, Sam. Jake Wagoner, Flannel just killed every take he's ever had with that Twilight comment, LOL.
Or explain the take with that Twilight comment.
Well, thank you for that, Jeff. The beauty of being Flannel Sam, and I'm not trying to sound braggadocious, is that
third person.
I am not ashamed of anything that I like. I will tell the whole world I don't have guilty pleasures because they're just simply pleasures that I'm not guilty about.
People suggesting you should get a face tattoo, Sam Flannel, to darken it up a little. Your thoughts?
Oh no, I'm a clean-cut All-American boy. I don't have a tattoo anywhere on my body, and I never will. I'm not against them. That's just a face tattoo. As my first, no.
Just get a tear right under your eye, Sam.
AC says Ryan Armani is on that hopium.
Yeah.
What did we 11-6?
Thoughts?
Division championship.
11-6.
Thoughts on bottom line do not reflect those of Big D Energy and company. But I do respect Ryan. It's his opinion. I just respectfully disagree.
Yeah,
that's all.
Sam Flannel's getting dragged in the chat right now.
I told him, hey,
harsh.
At least he's not ashamed. That's step one.
I tried to tell him. I think we all warned him. If it's a movie about glittery vampires. How old were you when you fell in love with Twilight, Sam?
I was in my late teens.
It's still unacceptable.
If
you were like 4 and it was like, I love the vampires, the werewolves, they were cool. But I love you, buddy, but wrong trilogy.
Oh, yeah, Team Edward, by the way, just for the record. Team Edward.
Okay, that needs to stay in house.
All right, let me tell you something. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about energy drinks, shall we? Because the summer of Cintron is here. We're living in it right now, and now Cintron's available at your local Kroger as well. And don't forget about their limited edition 6-pack that you can pick up at CintronWorld.com/Red Wings. They are the official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings. So, boom, there you go. You can order the Red Wings 6-pack sampler box at CintronWorld.com/Red Wings. You can pick it up at Kroger. If you haven't tried it yet, do that. Roll through Kroger, scoop up a couple of cans, give it a spin. It is the best energy drink in the game. It's a new energy drink for the active lifestyle. Drink it. Live it with Cintron.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. Because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader Bet Tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
Neal Ruhl here for Bedrock in the Monroe Street Midway. Grab your favorite jersey and join us down at the Monroe Street Midway on August 25th for a Jersey Thursday roller skating party. Our very own Woodward Heavyweights will be broadcasting live from the Rollout Detroit Roller Rink with a jersey-themed party starting immediately after with a DJ and jersey giveaway. Mark your calendars. Join the Woodward crew and the Heavyweights for a Jersey Thursday this Thursday. Ironically enough, August 25th at the Monroe Street Midway. On and poppin', Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network on a Friday. We're at the Links of Novi at the Darren McCarty golf outing. He's out there schmoozing with all the folks. Calvin Johnson in the house, Rob Sims in the house, etc., etc., etc. We have Sam Flannel. We have Stick out here on site. He's Jeff Iafrate in for DMAC. My name is Neal Ruhl. Happy y'all are with us. Tap into the YouTube chat thread. Get your thoughts out there. Everyone's dragging Sam Flannel. Feel free to continue. I'm not going to stop you. Dr. Dirty D, that's my coffin, punk.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, boy.
YT Sparty, I bet Sam Flynn also loves Sex in the City. Bank it.
Oh, no. Just
I've never seen Sex in the City.
All right.
Real talk.
Okay.
Casey says 50 Shades of Flannel.
Never. If I saw it, I would admit it, and you know that. I've never seen it.
I love Sam, man.
No, but
he's an open book.
A lot of talk, too, coming out. And the Lions have been practicing in Indy.
Had a better day yesterday.
That's what I was told.
Yep.
I was told they had a bad day Wednesday. I was told they had a better day yesterday. So, I'm equal opportunity on that. But one of the names that was brought up by a lot of people, Alim McNeill was balling out. That was the word. And this is Indy reports too. This is Indy writers talking about Indianapolis Colts. Yeah, I mean they're talking about Alim McNeill, and it's one of those things for me. And Alim McNeill, and look, the Amon-Ra St. Brown thing with me was I jumped on that one early when you saw the production, what you were getting versus the draft position and all that kind of stuff. And Penei Sewell's a gold jacket guy for me. You guys know that. When it's all said and done, he'll be in Canton. Mm-hmm. Hopefully that's 15 years from now. But the Alim McNeill pick for me was one that really cemented Brad Holmes, the plan, what they're doing. Mm-hmm. Now, granted, he got knocked around a little bit last year just in terms of being bruised up and banged up and stuff like that.
Right.
But the Alim McNeill pick, Juicy J, for me, recreate this draft already. Last year's draft already. Recreate it. Penei Sewell.
Mm-hmm.
I say gold jacket guy. Can we settle in on elite tackle?
Yep.
Top 10 tackle in the NFL.
Absolutely.
I think we can all agree on that, right? Okay. Levi Onwuzurike, jury's still out a little bit.
Yeah.
At moments. Alim McNeill, third-round pick.
Solid. He's a starter.
I got Braylon Edwards in now. I told you to star-studded around here,
He's looking good, too.
I know. Look at him. Braylon going to come running back through here right now.
Look at that athleticism. Look at him.
Ooh, still got that 40 time. No, but Alim McNeill, though, is the guy.
Yes.
Amon-Ra St. Brown in the fourth round. Derek Barnes in the fourth round. We'll see.
That's 3 starters.
That's my point.
What else do you want?
That's the thing. And this isn't your local Lions blog writing about this,
Mm-hmm.
that are telling you how great David Blau is and stuff like that. That's not this. This is media from the other team. This is Indianapolis media saying Alim McNeill's out there causing problems for people.
I'm not surprised. This is when you talk about the defensive line, it starts also with Alim McNeill, and that's been the Lions. I guess you could be one of their biggest knocks is being able to stop the run. That is why you take a guy like Alim McNeill, and the fact that he's tearing it up against that Colts O-line is something you have to talk more about because the Colts have one of the best O-lines in the NFL, and Alim McNeill's making plays. And it's not always measured by sacks. It's tackle for losses, stopping the run, allowing time for Aiden to come in there and finish the play. So I got to give credit, man. Alim McNeill taken in the 3rd round. You can't complain.
Well, that's my point about all this. This is why it is different, and you can't dispute my claim in that. That's one. That's a draft we're talking about there,
right,
man. Where, that's his first draft. Starters.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like that Troy Weaver effect. You have a guy who, in his first 2 drafts, Troy being 3, they've nailed it. And they've gotten, even if it's not always about drafting star players, it's drafting starters. And that's something the Lions have failed to do later in the draft. And Brad Holmes, where's his bread and butter? It seems like past the second round, he's finding talent. So even in the first round. So got to give credit, man. He identifies talent, and he doesn't mess it up.
Jack Harrington says Sam watches The Notebook.
Oh, no.
I've actually never seen The Notebook either. So everyone thinking I'm just like a chick flick kind of guy. I like what I like. I don't discriminate. I like what I like.
Is Vampire Bill your hero?
Who's Vampire Bill?
I don't know.
No idea.
He answers.
Steve Shattuck says Levi Onwuzurike's got to stay on the field. And Steve, yeah, but what I think Brad Holmes playing a little bit of house money here from this first draft already. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I mean, again, Sewell, McNeill, St. Brown.
Yeah, they can't all be starters.
no one hits 100%.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And they could afford, and listen, Levi, I'm excited. I think there's a lot for him to prove. But, Neal, everything's not banked. The fact that you found Amon-Ra, Alim McNeill, Penei Sewell, that's the key. It's not about Levi, whether he stays healthy. I think he can still be a contributor, but you hit on 3 studs. And that's what you take away from it.
Yeah, I mean, it is. And look, that goes to if you can pick and the draft this year. Okay, yeah. Hutchinson, Jameson Williams, we'll see. We're going to see. Let's be fair. Kirby Joseph has looked good. We're going to see.
Yeah, he'll be a contributor.
Malcolm Rodriguez angling towards being a starting line. You see what I'm saying? Like let's just baseline it. I think we're all sold on Hutchinson, right?
Yep.
Everybody who's not a Michigan State fan anyway is sold on Hutchinson in terms of being a contributor, being a starting player in the National Football League. Malcolm Rodriguez has the inside track to be the starting linebacker. Say it stopped there. Just say it stopped right there.
Right.
2 drafts, 5 starters.
And, Neal, a lot of those guys are later in the round. So we know what that means. This is Neal Ruhl, the financial man.
When we talk about Amon-Ra St. Brown, I always give the disclosure. His entire rookie contract with the Detroit Lions
is what?
Is less than Kenny Golladay will make in September with the Giants.
Damn.
This September.
That's the facts.
But this is how you change a franchise. And this isn't, yes, this is an Alim McNeill story, but to me, it reinforces everything that I've talked about with Brad Holmes and this regime. And look, at some point they have to win games. And look, the defense is a big-time concern. Big-time concern for me and for everybody. The linebacker spot, big-time concern. Now, if I'm going to sit there and trumpet Malcolm Rodriguez as having the inside track at a linebacker spot, I have to flip that around and say, what about that linebacker room?
Right.
Both things can be true, though.
Yeah, but the fact that he's finding – because you could still have a bad linebacker room, Neal, and not find starters. If you find a guy like Malcolm Rodriguez who has a possibility to contribute year one and make an impact, yes, the linebacker room is bad. But if Malcolm, you saw Hard Knocks, you saw Kelvin Shepard giving him praise, that's a good thing. Like this guy, like you said, he's on track to be a starter week 1, and that's what you take out of it. It's not about the linebacker room itself.
Machiavelli sucks to go on our YouTube chat there. Neal International Finance Ruhl. That's always his go-to. Tony D. Rodrigo has really impressive speed. Joey 2-Time, stop talking about your favorite crappy TV show and get back to talking about your favorite crappy sports team. He's
not 100% wrong.
Yeah, both things can be true. Yeah. Connor Bean says, I'm a diehard Michigan State fan, but also believe in Hutchinson. The Hard Knocks show made it hard not to like Hutch. Machiavelli sucks to go. Neal Ruhl, thoughts on the dollar? Hey, pulled up to even with the euro. Look out now. Home of the 100-year bear market, everybody. That's
Talk
right,
to him,
Stick. America, Stick. The all-time bear market, everybody.
He says, I love it.
He does.
He's foaming at the mouth right now.
No,
guy's Stick.
He does.
It's definitely been a good time watching the rest of the world. I don't want to say crumble, but at the same time, when you're the best, everybody's got to try to keep up with you, and there may be new fads. The euro was a new fad. It's going to take over. It's going to cripple the dollar. No. We invent things here. We make things here. We don't just export. We import. We make things. Fish. I don't want to hear it out of you because China's in the damn dump too. So America, invest in it. We're in a recession, but the rest of the world is in a depression.
We invented currency. we invented markets.
Oh, D-Mac must be behind you. Look at all that smoke.
They got the grill going hard right now over there. And I will tell you this.
It smells delicious.
That's what I'm saying.
It's tempting me, Neal.
That's what I'm saying. You know, like you get any.
Would Spencer survive out here? That's the question.
No.
I think if we would cut to Spencer's cam, he'd already be getting a burger, I think.
How many dogs would Spencer have knocked down already? 4?
Over under 5.5.
Because this here would be a different animal than he's used to, right? Where when you have the grill smell component to it,
it's different.
It changes everything.
It's different.
It is.
If I had to say over under 5.5, 6.5, I'm going over on
for
both.
The show.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 2 hours.
He would do 7. With that smell going,
money.
He would do 7.
Easy money.
YT Sparty says, I'll buy Stick a beer if he says rom-com again. Go ahead, Stick. Cash in. That was the easiest free drink you ever got in your life. Go ahead.
I don't know if that's the easiest free drink I've ever got in my life, but yeah, I love rom-coms. And, you know, I picked up the mic when you guys were talking about The Notebook. There will be no Notebook slander around me. That is a fantastic movie. Well-written. Nicholas Sparks. He knows what he's doing.
All right. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, we will leave it at that.
You know what?
Why don't
you're telling me you've never curled up with a girl and watched The Notebook and closed? Come on. It's the best closing movie of all time.
I could give you that.
I'll tell you what. Stick out in the wild is like a scripted playbook in football.
Yep.
Like he's got the first 15 plays of the game scripted, and he sticks to the script. And guess what? More often than not, he drives down and scores on the opening drive.
I'm telling you, in high school, I managed to figure the game out. Hey, you want to watch Dumb and Dumber? Everybody's already seen Dumb and Dumber. You know, about 20 minutes into it, we're not interested. We're doing other things, and you do that. I mean, come on, we rewatch and rewatch and rewatch.
Stick was Netflix and chilling before it was cool, and that's why I respect Stick.
Yeah, I was VHS and chilling.
YT Sparty says if he never says rom-com again, he'll buy you a drink. Too late.
I love rom-com. Sorry, brah.
Sorry, I misread that one. I can't get them all right, everybody. Read 1 million words a day. Mike G says Stick is turning microeconomics into a micro ciabatta. Well, you know. Ciabattas, absolutely. Tell them about Guardian.
Let me tell you guys, because we talk about this Lions defense, we talk about Alim McNeill. Let me give you a dominant defense, and that's Guardian Alarm. Guardian Alarm keeps you safe and gives you peace of mind, whether you're at home or on the road. They're 24/7 local monitoring. Make sure what's important to you is safe. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT for peace of mind. I say call 1-800-STAY-OUT right now, and let them know your friends at Woodward Sports sent you.
Make sure you're listening to Woodward Sports all day long. Start your morning with the Morning Woodward Show. Spend middays with Big D Energy. Watch and listen your drive home with the bottom line. And don't forget about Woodward Bets Daily. All live. All right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you want to know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Jeff Iafrate here, and I'm going to tell you how to get a free. I said free Woodward Sports.
Did you say
t-shirt.
free Woodward Sports
I did.
T-shirt?
That's right, a free Woodward Sports T-shirt all month long at Big Frog and Novi. Just stop in, tell them we sent you, and they will print one out for you on the spot. So go to Big Frog and Novi today and get your T-shirt, or you can visit them online at bigfrog.com/Novi.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. We are live at Links of Novi, the Darren McCarty golf outing. He's out there with the people taking the pictures, shaking the hands, holding the babies. I haven't seen any babies, though. So
he's a man of the people.
He's a man of the people. There is no doubt about that. The people's champion was in there. You know, they got the memorabilia auction. I had to go put a bid in on the signed George Kell baseball. I saw Stick's name on there, too, in the running for the Dennis Rodman autographed jersey.
Dennis Rodman's my favorite player of all time. So old school blue, red, white, and blue Dennis Rodman autographed jersey. And it was cheap as hell. Like the starting bid was $75.
Yeah.
And I've already put my name on there twice. I think we're up to like $150. I did that and the Bo Jackson autograph helmet.
I did see that
Bo
one.
Jackson's my favorite athlete ever.
Yeah, I jumped in on the George Kell baseball. It's a travesty that man's number isn't retired by the Detroit Tigers organization. It's up there on the Sergey level for me of outrage. You know, I mean, he's only in the Hall of Fame as a player, George Kell. He only had 25 years of service to the Tigers organization and did the games on television and all that stuff, too, with one of the better broadcasting, duos of all time in the history of baseball. Travesty, George Kell's number is not retired. It's a travesty to
Put that jersey up. And another thing I saw in there as well, they got a lot of beautiful items. I saw the signed Mike Tyson. They got the Mike Tyson video game, Mike Tyson signature. I didn't even want to go check on that bid because I'm sure it's high. But a lot of nice items here, man. It's beautiful.
Yeah, but we are chopping it up, and we're talking Detroit Lions. Why not, man? They got the game against the Indianapolis Colts tomorrow.
Yes.
We are at the precipice of our final football-free weekend of the rest of the season. Next weekend, the college kicks off. We are ready to roll. We're going to be getting into it. College football all week next week. We're going to be doing deep dives. I'll do an honorary get-right pick for you on the weekend. How can I not? You have to. I will say it won't come with the usual caveat of, and you guys know how the get-right pick works, right? I want for the people that go 0-5 on a Saturday. 0-5. They lose every bet. I want you to take all the money you lost, and I'm going to get you right on Saturday night. You take all the money you lost, and you run it back on one bet. Under the Get Right system, which is 17-6, by the way, under the Get Right system, I allow you to be 1-5 in your bets and break even. Think about that.
I think you're talking to me, Neal, because I'm the guy that goes 0-5, so got to get right.
Jimmy in the back, you got that. I will get you guys right. You can
get me right.
You can be 0-5. We're going to take all that money, and we're going to bet it on a Mountain West game on Saturday night. I will get you right.
I'm there.
I'll bail you. Old Uncle Neal will bail you out, man. Just like jail. You know, when you can't call your parents, you call that cool uncle. Old Uncle Neal will bail you out on Saturday night when, it got away from you a little bit like that. Our YouTube chat, though, remember, if you're watching on the YouTube channel, you can tap in, just subscribe, and you're free to comment on there. Drew Hunt says, I've learned so much today and nothing about sports either. That's the benefit of Big D Energy. We're not just here for entertainment or for sports. We're here to learn.
Oh, yeah, always. I'm still learning constantly, and this is why Woodward Sports is the best, because they have the people that can teach and great mentors. So it's the best of the best, I'm telling you.
Joey 2 times is on the side with Stick, says Stick is right. That's the only reason I've ever watched The Notebook. And for those of you that don't know, Stick said The Notebook is his ultimate closer.
Like Jordan Kobe level closer. This is
like shutting down the club.
Yeah.
Craig Coates says, I'm okay with the linebacker room currently. At this point last year, everyone claimed the Lions had the worst group of wide receivers. 1 year later, they're talked about as one of their better groups.
It's the Brad Holmes effect.
1 year. And Craig, that's exactly where I am with it. And that's why I'm not concerned about it. And yes, the defense as currently constructed with the Detroit Lions will prohibit them from winning a playoff game or winning a division. It just will. It's a talent game when you boil it all down in the National Football League. But for the first time ever, Craig, I have no concern when he turns his attention to that in the draft and says, "Hey, we got to get this linebacker room right. We need a defensive back in here." He's proven, and again, I'll go back to it, the draft last year, because I don't think that we know, but I don't think we fully know. Penei Sewell, Alim McNeill, Amon-Ra St. Brown. 3 starters. 1 gold jacket.
3.
1 possible star. Oh, yeah, there's your people over there. There's people over there, Jeff. Go ahead and do it up.
Jeff, come get a picture with Calvin, you, Rob.
There, Juicy Jafe's going to get a picture right now with Calvin and with D-Mac and all that over there. But I'll carry the show, though. But it goes back to what I was talking about. This is the way forward in the NFL. The draft, what Brad Holmes has done, that's the way forward. When you get talent through the draft, you have to draft because it's your only way. It's your only way forward in today's National Football League. Yeah. So there you have Jeff Iafrate right now. He's excited. He's fired up. Look at him. He's like a kid on Christmas. Got his picture over there with Calvin and Rob Sims and Darren McCarty.
You're gonna explain to him how that all works. It's a job well done, right? Mm-hmm. That's a little reward for filling in.
Filling in for the week.
6 man of Woodward.
6 man. Yeah, that's a good way to put it right there. Yeah.
Well, and let's tell the backstory earlier. Obviously, Kelvin was here earlier with Rob Sims and their primitive product that they're talking about, and Jeff is like, man. He's my favorite football player of all time, and I missed it. I botched taking a picture with him. So when I see him over there, we got to put Jeff on the spot.
Absolutely, we did. And look.
Thank the gods. Thank you guys.
Doughboy Steve says it's Friday. It's always a free-for-all. And it is. And you're going to get stuff like that when we're out on set. Speaking of the primitive brand and everything like that, I think the city's waiting for that D-Mac Calvin. They got to collab in some form, right? They have to.
That would be fire. Yeah, I wonder what strands they'd blend together. It'd have to be a hybrid, right?
If they create something, you smoke it. I don't think you're coming back from that. I'll tell you.
If it's D-Max, it's got to knock you out, right?
Right.
Oh, my God. That, man, shout out to D-Mac. That's incredible.
Oh, away
that's
fan.
Incredible.
Neal with the best shirt I've ever seen him wear. I love the Vipers, my dude. Yeah, we got the Detroit Vipers shirt on, rolling out. Yeah, there you go.
Got to rep.
Yeah, got to rep the Vipers. Ethan Brown, only half the NFL's active players by math can be first and second round pick. The rest of the players are gotten beyond those rounds. You have to hit on some of those. And that's the rub, right?
Right.
This is 2 drafts we're talking about. There's 5 starters now. And I keep hammering because I don't think we understand. Stick, do you realize what we're seeing versus what we've seen the last 20 years? As far as the draft goes, I'm going to keep pounding everybody over the head with this, man, because do we recognize it, Stick? Do the football fans here in Detroit recognize what's happening with these drafts?
I think they have to because it's something we've never seen before. Whenever you see something you've never seen before, you're going to be like, oh, that stands out. But, yeah, no, to your point, I mean, we've had a struggle hitting on first-round picks. Hitting on second-round picks. Like, even if 50% of our first-round picks came out, I would have been happy. But we blew it on Gosler Chairless. Yep. You know, we blew it on Lincoln Tomlinson, who went on to be a decent pro. But, you know, let's talk about Eric Ebron. That's another one. We couldn't get first-round picks right. Now we're getting 4th-round picks right. Now we're getting 6th-round picks right that are making up for years of malfeasance, right? Essentially.
I love the word malfeasance.
That's one of my favorite words.
It's so great.
It's a great word. Whip that one out and killed it.
Well, he usually does.
Yeah, you know, that's what I do. Watch The Notebook and talk about malfeasance.
Whip that thing out.
Whip it out. But no, that's the thing. It's speeding up the process, right? We're getting multiple first-round picks when we should have never had them in the first place. And now, look at what he's doing when he actually has multiple first-round picks. Aiden Hutchinson, you're seeing him. He's the guy. Jamison Williams, we haven't seen him on the field. But damn it, Brad Holmes, he's the guy. Josh Paschal's the only one we're really having a question about this year. But that's because we haven't seen him on the field. The dude's a beast.
Well, you don't hit... you don't hit 1,000.
Well, right.
In the NFL draft, man. Like, that's where I kind of laugh where the people say, well, Levi Onwuzurike, got to stay healthy. I got 3 starters out of that draft.
It's a win.
I'm cool.
Yeah.
Whatever else happens. I'm cool. Like, I'm not demanding anything or all of that. It's the numbers game. You keep adding 3 starters all the time, man. You're going to have a hell of a football team and a hell of a affordable.
And it makes up for the bad drafts of before.
Absolutely.
It really does.
Yeah, speaking of the bad drafts, I got another crazy stat that I think you all are going to enjoy. Amon-Ra St. Brown put up better numbers in his rookie year than Mike Williams and Charles Rogers did in their entire tenure with the Detroit Lions. It's the truth, and that's staggering. And it speaks to what Brad Holmes can find. A diamond in the rough like a Monra St. Brown in the 4th round. That's the type of stuff that, and I don't like to use this word, that Super Bowl teams do. They find diamonds in the roughs in the later rounds. And that's what, in the modern NFL with the salary cap league, that's what you have to do.
You heard it here first. Flannel Sam, so we're a Super Bowl team.
I'm
you
just
heard
saying,
it here first.
He's doing Super Bowl GM type things.
He's doing big boy GM moves.
Yes,
like
absolutely.
that's what he's out there playing chess, and he's doing it financially through free agency. And again, guys, through all this too, with all the draft picks, and I'll go back to it. 2024, there's $92 million in cap space with your quarterback signed. With your quarterback signed in today's day and age. So chew on that for a couple of minutes. Gary Lewis on our YouTube chat thread. I think George Kell is an MLB player, once hit 354 in a season. Yeah, Gary, he beat some guy named Ted Williams for a batting title.
And Ted Williams is the greatest hitter who ever lived. So that's saying something. That's unbelievable. Ted Williams. If you beat Ted Williams at anything hitting-wise, you should be the Hall of Fame just for that.
And George Kell is in the Hall of Fame, by the way.
Yes.
And was the TV play-by-play guy for the organization. And had 25 years of service to the Tigers organization. What else can you do other than be a Hall of Fame player, beat Ted Williams for a batting title, and be arguably the best television play-by-play guy the organization's had?
I mean, don't most Hall of Famers get their numbers retired by their teams? I mean, some organizations have so many, like the Yankees, but the Tigers, get that man's jersey in the draft.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying. But we were talking about Brad Holmes doing big boy GM stuff. Let me tell you about the actual big boy. Ciabatta, summer salads, hand-dip shakes, all of it is available at Big Boy. Try the Chicken Club, Chicken Cordon Bleu, or the Banger, Sunrise, ham and cheddar, all on grilled ciabatta bread. Oh, you can keep it light, too, if you're like Juicy Jaffe there, where you're still trying to look good for the ladies and whatnot. You can keep it light with the Michigan apple, chicken Caesar, or Greek salad. But the bottom line is the payoff comes at the end with the hand-dipped cookies and cream or strawberry shake. You heard it here first. Summer is better at Big Boy.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
Pulling up on the second hour of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. We are live at Links of Novi, the Darren McCarty golf outing, the usual cast of characters out here. D-Max taking all the pictures with everybody. Juicy J in a YouTube chat thread. Juicy is beaming right now. He just got his picture with Calvin Johnson and Rob Sims and Darren McCarty right there. So
that's why.
Yeah, he's all kinds of fired up. YT Sparty says, I love that Calvin Johnson stayed in Detroit. He could live anywhere in the world. And yeah, that's it, man. Good dude too. Really, really a great dude. And everybody's out here doing it right now. And Ethan Brown says Kenny Galladay needs to send Stafford some Christmas cards because Stafford got Kenny paid. So yeah, that's what it is. Steve Shattuck says his name's on the wall. Yeah, but his number's not retired. And we're talking about George Kell's number being retired. It's up there with Sergey for me, where it's like it's a no-brainer. Mm-hmm. It's like Jack Morris being in the Hall of Fame to me.
It's not even a debate.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I don't know. I don't understand it, but whatever. You know how we roll out. Steve also says George Kell was a Gold Glove at third base, and that is correct too. Whatever metric you want. You want the local angle? All of it. Whatever metric you want. This is something where I want this laid out. I want people to set it in stone. Updating the YouTube chat thread. Do you like Goff? 54% of you say yes in honor of us being at the links of Novi. And D-Mac, we're changing them, man. The people are coming around. They're coming around.
They are.
To Goff, so that's it. Gary Lewis. George Kell was a badass MLB player. Should have been honored by the Tigers long ago. Well, hey, I'm glad that I'm opening some eyes to that.
The people are right with you.
Yeah, I do. I want it laid out, though, Juicy J, and I'll start with you on this. Every Lions conversation that we started with Alim McNeill, or we started with the draft, or we started with Amon-Ra St. Brown, or we started with the linebackers, or the perceived lack of talent, or whatever. These are all great conversations, and we have fun, and we're talking about it as we get ready for the season. Every conversation, because it's the nature of the position, is going to come back to Jared Goff. That's just the way it's always going to work, and his play ultimately will dictate, wins and losses. His play will be what's judged. His play is what will be blamed or lauded or blamed anyway, even when they do win, because that's the nature of the position. That's the way that it works. What's he got to do this year? I mean, and it's easy to say, well, not throw interceptions and throw the ball downfield and stuff like that. What's he got to do this year? Because, right, it's an intriguing story as a guy that's had success. And I always go back to that Monday night game where they played against the Chiefs, where it was entertaining as hell. He threw for like 450 yards. I mean, he was spinning it up and down the field. What's he got to do this year?
It's hard for Jared Goff. It's not really a number on it, like you said. Throwing less interceptions, of course. I think he's going to improve by default, considering how good this offensive line is. You have more weapons. You have a healthy backfield. And Brett Holmes, that relationship with Jared dating back to L.A., he knows what Jared needs to be successful. So I'm not too worried about what's around him. But to your question, Jared, what does he need to do? Not be the center of attention, or at least not be the reason why the Lions are losing games. Because we know what Jared is. If Jared comes out as a great season, does it change what you think of Jared in terms of, is he a bridge quarterback? Is he a franchise quarterback? Is he as good as some of the best quarterbacks? No, it's not going to change my opinion, because I have enough tape on Jared to know what he is. But I'll tell you this, he's got to go out. He's got to have a good year. And by good, we talk about win total, and I get the chat 15-2. I get the optimism. It was funny. But in reality, if he can just win 7-8 games this year, Neal, that's fine. And I think with Jared, I don't think there's much excuses now, because last year it was, the wide receiver core. He just had Amon-Ra St. Brown last year. Well, now you have weapons. And when Jameson Williams gets back, there's going to be a lot less room for him to breathe. You're going to have more weapons. So for me, Neal, go out, be solid, and win more than 6 games. You can't be 5 or 6 wins with this team, especially offensively, if there's struggles. And I could look at Jared, and you could at least be like, he had a good year. So it starts with the win total. And second, don't be the reason why the Lions are losing games. Don't be the reason.
Rack says we need Sam Flannel's thoughts on George Kell. And then Ethan Brown says Sam thinks George Kell will be a AAA player at best today. Do me a favor, Sam. Kind of put it together, because I know you're probably not versed in like his career and stuff like that to the detail. Do a quick deep dive when we come back from the next break. Give Rack what he wants. Give him your thoughts on George Kell.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, but we are talking Jared Goff right now. And for me, right, it's one of those things where I think it's just going to be directly tied to the team result. And again, guys, we got to remember, with this defense, with this linebacker room, with this secondary room, as it's trending, which I think is a very fair statement, it's reason for concern. I think it's reason for concern enough to the point where it inhibits your ability to win the division, it inhibits your ability to be a playoff contender. But I've come around, especially as we've seen the rocket escalation of quarterback salaries. And we're going to live in a world where Kyler Murray's pushing $50 million a year, and Lamar Jackson's going to be over $50 million a year. And you'll just continue to see that number go up and up and up. I am of the opinion where, and I said this was my one concern about the Holmes regime and their affinity for Jared Goff. Would they have it in them to make the tough decision, because they do have an out after 2023, or excuse me, after this season, they do have an out where it'd be $10 million in dead cap and $5 million in dead cap the following year. They do have an out, and I questioned their desire to make that tough choice.
Mm-hmm.
If that tough choice was warranted to be made, I didn't know if they had that in them to do it. I've turned from that. And I think this is the inner workings of the mind of Brad Holmes, and I don't know this, but every minute that goes by, he becomes a better and better value.
Yeah.
And I know that people don't, link him up with the ability to have a 400-yard passing day or anything like that. But again, the cost certainty, and you look at the linebacker spot, highest paid linebacker on the Lions, I think, is Anzalone's like $2 million.
Right.
You are going to have to address that.
Yeah.
Be it through the draft, be it through free agency. If this team takes a jump this year, you immediately have to address that in terms of free agency. Now, they'll have the ammo to do it. They certainly will have the ammo to do it.
Joik Bell. Joik
Bell in the house, everybody. Yeah, but, it's one of those situations where he will have that ability to do that because he has the ammo.
Yes, and that's the biggest thing, and I'm glad you brought up the point financially, because if Jared was making, you see what Lamar's going to get paid. You see what Kyler Murray now is getting paid. Quarterbacks are making money, and they're going to be paid. And Jared Goff making $30 million, although it is a lot of money compared to what true franchise quarterbacks are making. Just wait till Herbert gets his extension. Burrow is another one. You're going to look at Jared Goff's contract for what you're getting with Jared, and you're going to be like, okay, it could be much, much worse. And I get it. You want to draft a rookie quarterback. But that's not yet. You don't have a plan B after Jared. So I have no issue with Jared. I think he's the right quarterback for this situation. He's good enough to win you games if you can build a team around him. Look last year. Who won the AFC during the regular season? Ryan Tannehill with little to no talent. So Jared can be the guy, Neal, and to your point, for $30 million, considering what a lot of quarterbacks are making that can be the reason you're winning games, Jared may not be always the reason, but he can win you games on $30 million. So until the Lions figure out a backup plan, he's your quarterback, and that's the reality of it.
No, but there's not another plan. And to me, it could be the best plan going forward. Again, international finance ethics do apply in that. Joey two-time says, my concern is his ability to command the offense. We want to throw deep, but will Goff ever do it at a level that will lead to wins? I've seen it. Like I going back to that game, that Monday night game where he spun it for 450 plus. We watched him do it.
And I think it's more of a mental thing because with the Lions last year, of course, you're not throwing it deep. But even this year, in L.A., it was free. You had Sean McVay. You were drawing up plays. He was confident. It was his team. With the Lions, I think he's kind of walking on eggshells, or at least he feels like it last year. This year, maybe we'll see more things. But you need weapons to do that, guys. And he has DJ Chark, Jameson Williams. If he doesn't do it this year, you have your answer.
Yeah, and that's where it is, too. And I think Casey brings up a good point. Goff is 27 years old. He'll be 28, I think, when the season's over, if he's not 28 already. I think most people have his ceiling lower than it could be. And that's, to me, that's – I just don't know why it was washed away. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, when he had that time, when he was younger in his career, where he had those games where he spun it, I mean, I guess that doesn't fit your narrative if you're not a fan of him, so you don't bring that up.
Right.
But, at the same time – It's not like it's nothing. We've seen it happen.
No,
before.
There's a lot of quarterbacks much, much worse than Jared Goff. And I think that's the biggest thing. When people say, with the Lions or Lions fans, and we know one in Spenny and Easy, kind of a couple of those guys are like, hey, get Jared out of here. Let's find his replacement. Well, hold on. Are you sure that replacement's better than Jared Goff? And you saw with Brad Holmes how he evaluated the quarterback class. He doesn't think that. So Jared, although I think he does get disrespected a lot, the thing that people look at is when he had a great team around him, they didn't want him. Sean McVay didn't want him for that system, for all the talent they had. So I guess people have that narrative, Neal, but to your point, he's only 27, 28, excuse me. So there's plenty of room to grow. You see quarterbacks in their 30s get better. But with Jared, I think he is what he is, and he's efficient. He's a middle-of-the-pack quarterback. He's not a, Herbert, Burrow, top-of-the-line quarterback. But, of course, he's someone who can win you games. You can win games with Jared Goff, period.
Right. Jake Wegener says Goff's interception numbers are not any higher by percentage than any of the top-caliber quarterbacks.
You can't look at that either because Carson Wentz, another guy that doesn't throw a lot of interceptions, he's on his third team in 3 years. So it's not always about the interceptions.
No, which is fair, and that's fair to say. He also said his turnover issue is more so in the fumbles.
Right.
YT Sparty, and look, YT Sparty and I are in lockstep about this. I keep saying the best thing about Jared Goff is that we don't have to count on him to win. And again, his contract allows that whole operation to take place where you don't have to count on your quarterback to win because you have talent around, because you have the ability to do it financially. How's it working out for the Packers?
Mm-hmm.
How's it working out for the Packers where it's all they have? It's the only card that they have to play is the Aaron Rodgers card. And it's not going to work again. Now, he'll go on their little stretch. Packers will go on their little stretch, or everybody will be like, oh, man, here comes Aaron Rodgers. But guess what? When it comes down to it, what happens? He loses. Even at home.
Yeah.
In the playoffs at home, he loses. Go back across the way and look at it. And
you're a big resume guy.
I am.
You look at the resume.
Well, that's all you are.
That's all you have. Yeah. Look at his
you
resume.
are your resume.
Period.
Like,
Aaron Rodgers loses.
I mean, you are the things you've done, right? Mm-hmm. What other metric is there to measure you? And it keeps coming back for that to me. The Lions are not the Packers from an organizational standpoint right now, which is wild to say. If I were a Packers fan, organizationally, not this year, not on the field this year, not at the quarterback spot, if I were the Packers, organizationally, financially, draft capital-wise, I would rather be in the Lions seat than the Packers. And I know that they have the picks, the Devontae Adams picks coming up and stuff like that. But from a salary cap perspective, I would rather be the Lions organizationally. Damn, I can't believe I just said that.
You're right. And you look at the talent we're able to acquire later in the rounds, that's the difference. And I think the Packers, one mistake they've made, and I think they've realized they made, is taking Jordan Love instead of a skill position player. You're paying a first-round contract to a backup, so good luck with that, Packers fans.
Right.
Good luck to it.
Well, yeah, you're absolutely correct, my friend. Tell them about the Academy of Warren.
I got you guys, because if you have kids that need to go to school, I got a place for you. It's the Academy of Warren, brand new state-of-the-art sports dome field house that has a regulation basketball court that I'm going to try out soon. Volleyball court and soccer field also can be used for 7-on-7 football. They also feature things like small classroom sizes, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, K-8 athletics, and you can get all of those features if you enroll today at theacademyofwarren.net.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risk, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
Hey, it's Scott from the Woodward Bet Show. It's Friday. Thank goodness. Listen, we've been red hot all week over there at the Woodward Bet Show. You guys got to make sure you come over and check us out at 4:30 at the Woodward Bets YouTube page. You guys also got to make sure you get over to that app store and download oddstrader.com. It's got live scoring, play-by-play updates, the best place to check all the odds of sports books right in the palm of your hand. But hey, let's get to them fun coupons. That's what we want, winners. Listen, guess what? I'm rolling with the Tigers today. You know why? Angels stink. Sandoval stinks. They haven't won one start in his last 10. So listen, we're going to roll with that. Oddstrader.com. Woodward Bets. Check it out.
Winning is a habit. So is listening daily to Woodward Sports. We're glad you're a winner, and thanks for listening.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal, Ruhl, Jeff Iafrate in for DMAC. We got Stick out here on site. We have Sam Flannel as well. We're at the links of Novi. The Darren McCarty golf outing is going on. Jeff's all, his cheeks are all flushed. Just got his picture with Calvin Johnson and Rob Sims, and he's all kinds of fired up about it right now. But we are talking Jared Goff, just kind of wrapping up that discussion. And Off the Chain in our YouTube chat thread says, what about when Goff goes down? Hope he doesn't, but then what?
It's over.
Then your season's over.
Yeah.
Ask anybody that.
You draft a quarterback.
Like any team is in that same situation. I don't engage in backup quarterback talk.
No.
I don't.
And if you want to say, well, the Eagles had Nick no.
That's one ever. That's one ever.
It's over. And this is why the Mason Rudolph conversation, you crumble it, throw it in the trash. I'm not having it. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, like, if they want to do it, do it, whatever you want to do. I don't care. I mean, it's a $3 million investment. You have the cap space to do it. If it makes you feel better, I mean, would I be more comfortable with Mason Rudolph than David Blau?
Yes, but would you be comfortable giving up a 5th or a 6th, considering what Brad Holmes just found with his 5th and his 6th round picks? That's the question.
That's the question, right? So I mean, it does come back to that. So it's one of those things for me where I don't engage in the backup quarterback discussion, because if your backup quarterback's playing, your season's washed anyway,
right?
And that's just the way that it seems to work itself out. But you guys have some thoughts, obviously, on Jared Goff here on the YouTube chat thread. And, you got to remember, 27 years old. Robert Colosia says this, too, and I've heard a lot of people say this. Goff still overcoming the mind blank that McVay laid on him. Where are we at with that?
Hey, to me, that's called being the victim. Listen, Sean McVay recognized, and it was the best decision of his career, understanding in Les Snead's career, understanding what they needed to take the next step. I'm not ever going to fault the team for taking the next step. If we had Jared, if it was vice versa, and we went out and got a Matthew Stafford and it propelled us to a Super Bowl, would we be sitting there like, Sean McVay ruined Jared Goff? No. We'd all be at the parade downtown.
And it was Jeff Fisher. Jeff Fisher ruined Jared Goff,
yes!
if you remember.
Yes!
Jeff Fisher was his rookie coach who was trying to throw him out. And then Sean McVay came in, and all of a sudden, this guy's a good quarterback. And so almost like good coaching affects how these players play.
Interesting.
And it's funny, too, because it was Jeff Fisher that destroyed the Michigan Panthers in the USFL as well.
We had Shane Patterson, the #1 overall pick, then cut him before the season. That's what you do.
I'm just saying.
Why do you draft a guy #1 overall and then he doesn't even make your team?
Well, look, is Jeff Fisher not one of the more overrated people in football?
Oh, yes. Yes.
I can't knock what he did in Tennessee.
But of course they lost by a
He's
yard.
been living off of that, though, for the last 20 years or so. That's the thing. He hasn't done anything since then. He was the perpetual 8-8 in his last few years in Los Angeles, and then it all bottomed out to hell his last year, and he got fired.
But that's the thing about accomplishments. You can't take them away.
But they lost that Super Bowl, and I'm not saying Jeff Fisher.
He did it. He got there.
It's on his resume. That's fair. And that is fair.
Dan Quinn got to one, too.
Mike G., would you rather have Jared Goff or Justin Fields?
He is a good coach.
Would you rather have Jared Goff or Justin Fields?
You talking to me?
Yes, all of you.
Jared Goff or Justin Fields?
I'd rather have Jared Goff.
That's a tough one because we don't really know what Justin Fields is yet. I think he has a higher ceiling than Jared Goff, but I guess if you're talking right now, maybe Jared. But to me, if I'm building for the future, I'm taking Justin Fields. But what about you guys?
He looked all right yesterday. Did you guys watch the preseason game?
I checked the stats afterwards. I didn't get to watch it.
He looked all right. I think it was 5 of 7, like 35 yards. They couldn't convert on their drive. Cole Kmet, that's the guy that you need to look at out of that Bears offense. Fantasy!
Take him. No, yeah, I mean, Neal, what about you, Sam Flannel? You're the voice of reason. What do you got?
That's a tough one because I love Justin Fields' talent. I think he's the greatest quarterback in Ohio State history, and I'll stand by that.
Which means...
Okay, all right, fair enough. But at the same time, I'm with Adam on one thing. The fact that the Bears decided to get Matt Eberflus, a defensive guy, as their coach, they needed to give him an offensive wonderkind like a Kevin O'Connell. I know he went to another team, but at the same time, I just don't think he's going to get the right coaching and tutelage and talent around him. Talent-wise, I would take Justin Fields. Situation-wise, I would take Jared Goff because he has a Ben Johnson and better talent around him.
That's the question. Do you want to win now or not? If you want to win now, I'm taking Jared Goff. I don't know what Justin Fields is going to be, Neal, but again, I'm not going to fault you for taking Goff.
He's no Malik Willis.
Jesus.
All right, we're done here.
Well, he's not.
Well, technically he's not, because if you look at his birth certificate, it says Justin Fields. So you're absolutely right, Stick.
He's no Malik Willis.
You're right.
What about you, Neal? You got the first pick.
Yeah, Jared Goff. I'm just not a Justin Fields believer. And like the Bryce Stroud contingent, the trade every draft pick you're going to have and get. No, not doing it. Show me the good Ohio State quarterback. Show us.
Yeah,
we don't have Rose with us,
Yep.
but there are none.
I'm a Bryce Young guy.
There
I
are
like Bryce Young.
none. I keep hearing about him. I keep hearing about him all the time, but I never see him.
Yeah. Well,
I hear it. I
don't
don't see it.
I want to argue with you, but yeah, you're right. That's the thing. I mean, you're pretty much making a guesstimate with Justin Fields. So, in my belief for the future, if I'm not trying to win this year, I'm taking Justin Fields, but Jared Goff's a better quarterback right now and will be for probably the next 2 years. Until then, I like Justin Fields, though. I do. I'll admit it.
Okay. Well,
I'll admit it. I'll die on that hill, Neal.
Good luck to you.
I'll visit you. We'll go out to lunch in 2 years. You tell me how much of an idiot I am.
No, it's just like the Ohio State thing, and there's the college quarterback thing is interesting because you play, 12, 13 games in a season, whatever that number is, 14, How many of those are you actually look at Michigan's schedule this year. They have 3 games on the schedule.
Yes.
3.
That's
You're
fair.
a Michigan fan.
I am. That is one of the easiest schedules in all of the nation. I mean, I've said that they should go undefeated going into the Ohio State game, and if they don't, it's highly disappointment.
Yeah,
yes,
it is. It's an absolute failure. Now, is this team as good as a team last year? Probably not.
Certainly not defensively with those losses.
Yeah, I mean, you lose 2 picks. 2 NFL picks, first day NFL picks, or top 2 round.
And
NFL
Ojabo
picks,
would have been a first round pick if not for that devastating injury at Pro Day.
Now, if you're asking me Fields or Penei Sewell, you got to go with Penei Sewell. Because I agree with you, Neal.
Wow.
Listen,
that's groundbreaking, Jeff Iafrate.
But that's the question you asked.
Only here
me.
are you getting the bold takes from Jeff Iafrate.
That's the question you posed, is Jared or Justin Fields. But listen, I saw in the chat, imagine having Fields instead of Penei, and I just can't imagine it. I'm on your side, Neal. I think he'll be a gold jacket guy, so rocking with Penei. I know what he is. I know what I'm getting out of him. Year 1. So.
Yeah, I'm salty. Joe Burrow went to Ohio State. It doesn't count. He threw his passes for LSU. That doesn't count.
So Neal can you determine which ones fit the narrative and which ones don't.
That's not narrative. That's
it's like
factual.
Justin Fields went to Georgia, then he went to Ohio State later in his career, but I guess he did throw passes technically. So he is an Ohio State quarterback.
Yeah, never started a game. So the people asked for it, Sam Flannel. Rack in our YouTube chat thread. The George Kell thing, I bid on the George Kell autographed baseball at the memorabilia auction here at the Darren McCarty outing. Mm-hmm. And to me, it's a travesty. His number hasn't been retired by the Tigers organization. A Hall of Fame player, beat Ted Williams for a batting title, was a Gold Glove player. By the way, did I say he's in the Hall of Fame? And not only that, television broadcaster for legend. 25 years of service to the Detroit Tigers organization. But people want to hear Sam Flannel tell you that he's a AA player at best, I guess. So the floor is yours, Sam Flannel. Your thoughts on George Kell?
I obviously have a lot of reverence for the past and players in the past. I said that Ted Williams is the greatest hitter of all time, so I'm not going to just crap on people who played it before the 1940s and before. But at the same time, with George Kell, let me go specific to him. There's only one stat that I needed to look at to prove that George Kell was great, and I'm just looking at his Tigers statistics. His on-base percentage with the Detroit Tigers was .391, and he was an everyday player. He got on base 4 out of every 10 times he stepped to the plate. That, to me, is phenomenal. I'm kind of a Moneyball guy. I like guys who walks. I like guys who walk. I love Juan Soto. I hate Javier Baez. That's kind of my style. He's not Ted Williams, George Kell. He's not Joe DiMaggio. He's not Jackie Robinson. He's not Hank Greenberg. He's not Duke Snider. But he is one of the best players of that era. And you're not going to hear any George Kell slander from me. I don't just look at the past and say, oh, they wouldn't play nowadays. I'm an era-adjusted greatness kind of guy.
So
that's
there you
the way
have
to look at it, yeah.
Man, how about that? Sam Flannel backing up somebody, man.
Not the legend killer.
Not the legend killer. Not in this, you probably let the fans down, as a matter of fact.
I probably did, but you know what? That's the thing. All of my legend killing, I will put that in quotations, is all stuff that I genuinely believe. I don't go looking to kill them, but there's a few that I definitely really gotta push back on.
Reggie Miller's overrated.
Oh, Reggie Miller's the most overrated player in NBA history.
I'm with you.
Did you guys know, audience? I'm gonna look in the camera. He never made an All-NBA second team in his entire career. He made, I think, 5 All-NBA third teams, or 3, and 5 All-Star teams. His lifetime averages are 18 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. He is the most overrated player in NBA history. He should – I'm not going to say he should not be in the Hall of Fame, But I've got people who say that he should be in the Hall of Fame. Oh, he's a no doubt, no way, because of narrative, because of what he did against the Knicks in those playoff series. But that Dwight Howard, oh, how could you say he's a Hall of Fame? Dwight Howard is a better all-time player than Reggie Miller, and it's not even close.
Oh, give it
not
to
even
me.
close. Not even close.
Oh, give that to me, Sam Flynn. Oh, my gosh. This should be played in every yoga class in the world. That take right there. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. No.
Reggie Miller is overrated, brother. Overrated.
Absolutely.
I am totally with you on Reggie Miller being overrated. I am not with you on Dwight Howard being a better all-time player than Reggie Miller.
Dwight Howard.
I'm not.
Yes, he is.
Dwight Howard was the best center in the NBA for about 5 years. We forget how dominant he actually was in Orlando. He got that team to a championship. He was a defensive player of the year for like 3 or 4 years in a row. He was a poor man's Shaq. He kind of came along after him. He was that dude, the best center in the NBA, undisputed for his era. He is
He
no
was
doubt
the
first.
last true center in the NBA. He was the part of a dying breed. That's why he was a dominant center, because they were transitioning out of the big men to the guys like Giannis who can actually dribble and do other things.
But he still had to do it, though. He was the best. He was like dominance in an era. When I look at Hall of Famers, I think of dominance in an era.
But that was the weakest era of centers in NBA history.
Well, that may be true, but he got Defensive Players of the Year. He was always on the All-NBA first team. He got that team to a championship appearance. That wasn't that talented. That had no business being there.
Turkoglu?
Oh, Hideo Turkoglu. Yeah, that's what a superstar right there.
Rashad Lewis?
They had a lot of kind of 3-and-D type guys. I understand that. But Dwight Howard getting that team to a championship appearance was phenomenal.
How dare you disrespect Stan Van?
Sam Flannel's on point right now.
Talk to him, Sam.
Yeah.
I agree.
He's having a day.
I agree. Dwight Howard, as much as people see the memes now, underrated.
Aside from his TV show takes today,
Right.
Sports-wise, he's having himself a day today.
Well,
I'm just
Neal,
gonna say it like
I'm
that.
so glad you agree with me. I genuinely think, and I understand that Reggie Miller was a great shooter, but part of why people think he was so great is because people say he was so great. It's all narrative. 18, 3-and-3. He never made an All-NBA second team, and people act like he's a no-doubt Hall of Famer, one of the best shooting guards of all time. It's all narrative. That's why you need to look at the numbers. That's why you need to actually do your research and not just regurgitate what people tell you.
Yeah. Brandon Katz, that's a horrible take. Reggie Miller's one of the best playoff performers in NBA history. He wasn't a superstar, but he was a star. Yeah, it was never good enough to win a chip. He didn't will anybody to win. Like Isaiah Thomas willed the franchise to a championship.
The ultimate Reggie Miller play, getting blocked by Tayshaun.
Absolutely.
That's Reggie Miller's career in one play. It's all there in front of you. If you just dunk the ball, your team's going to the final.
But you're not good enough.
You're not athletic enough. You're not good enough. You go for the layup and you get your ass blocked.
You just ain't enough, Reggie Miller. But hey, Planet Fitness, unlike Reggie Miller, would be in the Gym Hall of Fame. There is no doubt about it. Typically, we're live at the Planet Fitness studios. It's home of the judgment-free zone, where you can work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere. Membership starts at just $10 a month for access to your home club. A black card option as well. Just $24.99 per month. Get you use of all the amenities, the unlimited tanning, hydro massage, the massage chairs. Also, access to over 2,000 Planet Fitnesses worldwide with unlimited guest privileges. You can join today in club. You're going to pass a couple on the way home. If you're really motivated, jump on that computer right now like Juicy Jaffe is doing. Go to planetfitness.com. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Winning is a habit. So is listening daily to Woodward Sports. We're glad you're a winner, and thanks for listening.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi.
With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
Let me tell you about our friends at Alta, because at Alta, uptime matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. Have a big project coming up? Well, Alta Rent has you covered. Call them today, 844-GO-TO-ALTA. I repeat, that's 844-GO-TO-ALTA today.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Boy, people getting heated about the it's hard to hear that Reggie Miller's overrated, but it's factual. 18, 3, and 3 per game.
That's not great. That actually sounds like a role player to me. I'm not saying he is a role player.
Okay,
I'm just
he was that era's KCP.
All right.
No.
Don't walk Sam into somewhere he can't come back from. All right, thank God.
Oh, no, but we are chopping it up here. We're live at the Darren McCarty Golf Outing. Links of Novi is the spot. One of my favorite courses out this way.
It's beautiful, man.
Yeah, it is. It's a great track. Love Links of Novi. He's Jeff Iafrate in for D-Mac. My name is Neal Ruhl. Happy to have you all with us. We got Sam Flannel, the legend, killer. And he was a killer on Reggie Miller. But you know what? He murdered him in cold blood. And guess what? To me, it's justifiable homicide because that is correct. I never heard anybody lay it down like that. But we got Stick here in the building as well. And, you guys tap in. Tap in on the YouTube chat thread. Brandon Katz says, Reggie Miller wasn't a superstar. No one says he is. Sam with the straw man argument. No, Brandon, it's pretty bottom line. It's very bottom. 18, 3, and 3. How's that a Hall of Famer?
He had a whole 30 for 30 documentary made about him, about how he killed the Knicks, so to speak, even though when he had that 8 points in however many seconds, that was a foul. He pushed off. He should have been called for a foul. Come on, that was overrated.
Sam, you got to just take the knife out of Reggie Miller's heart now. You're killing it, and you're killing Reggie Miller.
I hate the reverence that he gets. It's one of my least favorite things in all of sports. It makes me want to go on a rampage.
Florida says, but these guys are raised on number. No, Florida, I'm from that generation too, and I just don't remember. Yes, he had a couple of playoff series and stuff like that. But he also had the playoff series against the Pistons, where Tayshaun ran him down. And as Stick says, that kind of sums up Reggie Miller's career. He was in terms of Hall of Famers, certainly. He is no Hall of Famer. He's mid. He is. He's mid. And 18, 3, and 3 is mid.
It is mid. And I really, really hate that people are like, oh, don't look at the numbers, look at the eye test. Numbers get you into the Hall of Fame. I'm just saying, there's plenty of players. In my opinion, if you are truly as great as the eye test says you are, it will reflect on the stat sheet except for a very few exceptions. And Reggie Miller is the type of guy. He's known for his shooting. He's known for his scoring.
Absolutely.
I know he's a 39% career from the three, and that's great. 47%
one of the
from
best
the floor.
shooters of all time.
And I'm not even disputing that, but that only led you to an 18-point per game career average. Something just doesn't add up if you are all-time great. It just doesn't.
There you go. Boom, laying it down. Did want to talk about this, and we brought up the fact that college football season is around the corner. This is the last weekend without college football until the holidays, which is awesome, up until the national championship. I mean, think about it.
I'm fired up.
It is. It's kind of hitting you. It's kind of hitting you over the head. I did want to bring this up in yesterday's show, but we did run out of time. I just real quickly want to go around the room to the Michigan fans. Mike G, legend killer, destroying Reggie Miller. I do like that one. This is really simple. And Stick, we're going to throw this one on the YouTube chat poll. Michigan fans in the room. I'll go to Sam Flannel first, give him the floor because he's a slap. Michigan fans in the room. Bottom line it. Who's the starting quarterback?
Oh, you don't have to guess my answer. It's absolutely J.J. McCarthy, and it should be J.J. McCarthy and Cade McNamara should transfer his ass out of the program.
Two choices, YouTube chat poll, Stick. Cade or J.J.? Michigan fans in the room, who's the starter?
Oh, it's J.J. 100%. And the main reason for me is because, and I will say this until the day I die, I'm no longer able to speak on the air. Cade McNamara did not win the Big Ten championship last year. He had 4 quarterback wins, technically, where he completed less than 10 passes, 5 where he didn't throw a touchdown pass, and 9 where he threw for less than 200 yards. And in 10 of those wins, the defense gave up less than 20 points. In those other 2 wins where they allowed the defense to score more than 20, he threw 0 touchdown passes and 2 interceptions. And that running game, in the Nebraska game, Corum and Haskins combined for 34 carries for 212 yards and 3 touchdowns. And in the Ohio State game, Hassan Haskins ran for 169 yards and 5 touchdowns on 6 yards per carry. Stop it with that nonsense. And if Cade McNamara genuinely outplays J.J. McCarthy in camp, I would be able to stomach that. I just don't like the idea that he has somehow earned the job because of his play. He was carried by that Michigan team, absolutely carried.
Well, it's interesting, too, because Angelique Shangelis of the Detroit News put out a tweet and basically said that this is an open competition spilling into the season. Now, Sam Flannel, instantly I sent that out to you and said, wow, dude, we got to get into this one right now. Because for me, it's not even just football field related in the whole Cade versus JJ argument. What's my biggest criticism of Michigan, Sam Flannel?
Well, they can't get the quarterback right.
They can't get the quarterback right.
Yeah.
And they're so rooted in their old school, Bo Schembechler kind of ways, like where a coach gets a statue that was 2-8 in the Rose Bowl and won no national titles and all that kind of stuff. Right. For me, the problem is you look around the landscape of college football right now and see what everybody's doing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You see it. We see what's going on in USC. They got players. They got quarterback commits that are signing with Clutch Sports. The Miami Hurricanes, what they're doing, Texas A&M, Alabama's Alabama, certainly. The thing for me is why you have to start J.J. McCarthy if you're Jim Harbaugh and if you're Michigan has to do with all of that stuff that's going on in college football right now. You have to be out there and say, look, if you're a 5-star, if you're that guy, when you come here, you're playing. And that's the way that it is. If you're J.J. McCarthy, like for me, and I'm not even, like, you could take the Michigan stuff aside. Me, the businessman, if I'm J.J. McCarthy, this is hurting my brand.
Yep. Yeah, I mean,
this nonsense is hurting my brand right now, and it's affecting my money.
I mean, I wouldn't blame him if he had already transferred at this point. And I think he should if he's not named the starter on day one. If you're J.J. McCarthy, you're looking at guys like Caleb Williams, all those 5-stars coming in. They get an opportunity to play, and they are getting paid. And if I'm J.J. McCarthy and I have to sit behind Cade McNamara, who was the ultimate game manager, he is the Mount Everest of game managers who did absolutely nothing but was given – he's the guy that gets an A+ but actually did nothing on the group project. And if I'm J.J. McCarthy and I have to sit behind that guy, I'm fuming. I am gone. And if I'm his parents, I encourage him to be gone. There's no reason for you to stay there.
And there's some interesting – comments in the YouTube chat there. Brandon Katz says Michigan's coaches see JJ in practice every day. They're not giving the starting job for a reason. And Florida says, I'm a JJ fan, but it sounds like Cade has outplayed him so far. But Juicy J, I mean, for me, I don't even care about that if I'm Jim Harbaugh. No. What I care about is my ability to be in the mix for 5-stars, for guys that are going to USC, for guys that are going to Alabama, because that's the only way you're going to win. That's the only way you're going to win the Natty. That's the only way you're going to beat Georgia and beat Alabama. And look, I took a lot of heat for people when I said that the bottom line is you can't get the caliber of players that Alabama and Texas A&M and now we're seeing USC and Miami get. You can't get them at Michigan or Michigan State. I said for that reason. Michigan State fans were more upset about it. But the moral of the story is this, Juicy J. You have to, and I'm not saying you have to do it for this reason, but I am kind of saying you have to be cool at some point, don't you?
No, you have to get with the modern era of college football. And I think a guy like Cade McNamara, who didn't throw a touchdown in 6 games last year, that's a problem. And I think with JJ, the upside, you talk about that, and people want to say, well, the competition before the season, Cade's beating him. Well, of course. JJ didn't have the reps last year, so now you're throwing him this year to compete with a guy who's already had a year, 2 years under his belt. It's different. For me, if I'm Jim Harbaugh, obviously the pull's going to go JJ's way, but we're not Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh wants the mature, the quarterback that can get the job done. I want dynamic. I want the best quarterback available, and to me it's J.J. McCarthy. He has the highest upside. And the question that Adam posed, which I think is so great, and you kind of hinted at it already when you were talking, if this was any other program, you take Cade, you take J.J., you put him on Ohio State, you put him on Alabama, you put him on anywhere else, who starts?
You know the answer to that question.
Absolutely. It's easily J.J. McCarthy. And another point, too, if you want to mention Georgia, don't. Because their game manager quarterback threw for 30 touchdowns. Go look it up.
So, and also Stetson Bennett is a bum. Well, JT Daniels should have been starting, and he would have won that national championship.
But for those people's points, though, Stetson Bennett threw for 29 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. Cade threw 15 and 6. No, so if we're talking about statistics, that's your biggest argument for Cade. Stetson at least produced. Well, if Cade threw 29 touchdowns and 7 interceptions, at least you'd have somewhat of an argument. The guy's a game manager. There's a difference.
But Stetson Bennett is also a game manager.
Who throws 30 touchdowns in a collegiate season. I will take that.
Ever pimp Stetson Bennett. Stetson Bennett, okay, let me gather my thoughts. In every single one of Stetson Bennett's wins as a starter last year, Georgia gave up less than 20 points. Every single one of them. The one time they didn't was the SEC championship game against Alabama, and they lost 41-24, and Stetson Bennett played horribly. And the national championship game, which he won. Remember, John Mechie didn't play that whole game, and Jamison Williams went out mid-game. That was a farce. JT Daniels should have been starting those games, and they would have won those games by even a wider margin with him. I hate Stetson Bennett. The fact that he gets to be the first quarterback since, like, the Herschel Walker days to lead Georgia to a national championship ahead of Matthew Stafford, a number 1 pick, Aaron Murray, the all-time SEC leader in passing yards. It just drives me crazy. I hate Stetson Bennett. Don't bring that up.
Well, you may hate Stetson Bennett, but I love the folks at Gypsy Vodka, and I love the Mulligan, and I love it because it's the official drink of summer. I need one on the desk right now, as a matter of fact. Whether you're out on the golf course or hanging out in the backyard, the Mulligan is calling your name. Ask for the Mulligan at your local golf course.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Neal and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Ciabattas, summer salads, and dip shakes. All at Big Boy. Try a chicken club, chicken cordon bleu, or sunrise ham and cheddar. All on our grilled ciabatta bread. Or keep it light with our Michigan apple, chicken Caesar, or Greek salad. And don't forget to cool off with a frosty hand-dipped cookies and cream or strawberry shake. You heard it here first. Summer just got better.
Neal Ruhl here for Chili Peppers Tanning, where you can join the Pepper Club. Get all the best deals, plus they'll beat competitors' prices by at least $5. Take a look at all your unlimited tanning options as well. Chili Peppers Tanning has the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, and the darkest hands. 26 locations and more on the way. Go to chilipepperstanning.com. Find out which one works best for you. It's Chili Peppers Tanning. Coming down the stretch here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Jeff Iafrate. We got Stick here out on site. We got Sam Flannel here at the links of Novi, the Darren McCarty golf outing. And people are fired up about this. And I posed a question to Michigan fans on the YouTube chat thread. Who's the starting quarterback? 73% of you say J.J. McCarthy. And, you know, it's just, for me, I think that you have to start J.J. McCarthy if you're Jim Harbaugh for the greater good. And when I say the greater good, I mean the sign that your program is not in the Bo Schembechler era anymore, where if you want to be in the competition, if you don't start, and a matter of fact, I think the damage is done already by the fact that he's not starting.
I think so too.
If you don't start this man, if I'm a 5-star guy, why? why would I come here?
It's a business decision.
Right, 100%.
Yeah.
Like you're messing with the man's money, all of it. His brand takes a hit, all of it. And you may not like that, Michigan fans. You've proven you resist change. You don't like it. I understand that. But make no mistake, you have to get into this era right now. You have to. And whether or not you agree with it, disagree with it, it doesn't change the fact that it's true. If he doesn't start, his brand is damaged, and others will take note. That's not hating.
My question for you, Neal, and maybe Sam could provide input as well, is like, even if JJ starts, do we see a change of how they play football? Is it still is he gonna allow JJ to do what his strengths, his ability to throw downfield? Does the offense change, or is it still same old Michigan football? That's the question. That's really my question. I think JJ has all the talent in the world, but it's about Jim Harbaugh recognizing it and saying, you know what, let's take a chance. We lost Ajabo, Aiden Hutchinson, Daxton Hill. We lost a lot of our key players. Throw the guy out there and see what happens. Or start Cade, win 9 games, 10 games, and lose. It's your point. It's up to you. They're going to lose to Ohio State this year. I think they'll beat MSU. I got them on 1 loss on the season regardless. So why not stay JJ?
With that schedule. Yeah, and that's
start
the other thing,
JJ.
too.
It's against Hawaii.
Your wins are baked in this year. You have a 3-game season. Michigan football has a 3-game season this year. Yeah. They have Michigan State, they have Ohio State, and then whatever kind of bowl game shakes itself out from that. And it's just like last year, where last year Michigan had a 3-game season. And save me the Penn State stuff and save me the Iowa stuff. The Big Ten as a whole, as I said yesterday, they're great in the boardroom. They're bad on the football field in relation to the SEC. We've seen that play itself out in the boardroom and on the field. I don't know how much more data you need to support that fact, but that's what they were. Again, it's a 3-game season this year. So why not? You can throw the winged helmet on the field and be 6-0. Just with the way the schedule's set up, you throw the winged helmet on the field. You worried about JJ going on against that vaunted UConn team. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's dumb. I don't understand the logic. And this goes back to like my take with the Lions and stuff like that. You can see the blueprint.
Right.
My problem with the Michigan thing is I don't see the blueprint. Because for me, and look, I'm not a brilliant football mind or a football coach or anything like that. I just, knowing people, having been around people, seeing how this recruiting thing is going, the name, image, and likeness, the 5-star, there is no danger in me starting J.J. McCarthy if I'm Jim Harbaugh, because you're going to be undefeated going into the Michigan State game. No matter what if you don't have a quarterback. Donovan Edwards could be the quarterback.
I mean, 2017 John O'Korn could be the quarterback, honestly. And to kind of piggyback off of both of you, I'll answer Jeff's question and also Neal's. The thing that I think J.J. McCarthy will provide, because they still have Donovan Edwards and Blake Corum in that offensive line, I think they will try to run smash-mouth football because they'll be able to.
Donovan Edwards is going to be a star. And this is the same thing. Like, the running back thing, I'm going all next. It's J.J. McCarthy's my quarterback, Donovan Edwards is my running back, and we're rolling.
Oh, if that happens at the Big House on week 1, for which I will be there,
Donovan Edwards will be a star.
And I don't think I'll be able to stand up, if you know what I'm saying.
Your britches will be altered.
Absolutely. And the thing that worries me, though, and you say that they have to start JJ, and I 100% agree. My thing is there might be one coach, very good coach in the entire country who would start Cade, and that's Jim Harbaugh. Because to me, there might not be a single human being on planet Earth who's not his family that idolizes and loves Bo Schembechler quite like Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh was Bo's quarterback. And to me, I still think he wants to play like Bo played, kind of like how they played last year. And it worked for them, but did it really? When they played Georgia, even though that Georgia defense was real good, it had all those first-round draft picks, Jordan Davis, Lewis Seen, Trayvon Walker, they looked awful in that game. With Cade McNamara, there was no chance. He looked like a little boy out there. At least J.J. McCarthy moved the ball a little bit. He got them a touchdown. And Cade McNamara in that game, by the way, to bring that back, he had 0 touchdowns, 2 picks. The guy who takes care of the ball. I'm just saying. But a real program that had no loyalties, that didn't have Jim Harbaugh, would start J.J. McCarthy 100 times out of 100. And you look at and you see that with a school like Alabama, for example. They used to have guys like John Parker Wilson and A.J. McCarron. And then they realized they got to get guys like Tua Tagovailoa and Bryce Young. And that's what Michigan needs to do, but it scares me to death that they won't.
Yeah. Alabama's acknowledged it.
Honolulu Blue Sparty says, Neal, what has JJ done or proved to warrant the love? He's a 5-star recruit.
Yep.
That's how it starts.
This is deeper. This is deeper than week 1 against Hawaii. This is deeper than that, guys. And this is part of my fundamental problem with the way Michigan goes about their business on the football end of things. It's deeper than a game. You guys are undefeated going into the Michigan State game. You don't even need a quarterback.
I mean, I think that it's a big disappointment if they're not undefeated going into the Ohio State game. I think they have a huge talent advantage over Michigan State, even with Cade McNamara as a quarterback.
Where have we heard that before?
Many, many times in Michigan State.
More often than not.
10-4. They might have had a more talented team every year of the past 14 years, except maybe in those late Brady Hoke, 2013 to 2015 Michigan State teams. And yet Michigan State is 10-4 in their last 14, and it just burns me to the soul. But I think this is the year they turn it around.
Yeah. And that's the answer to the question, Holland Blue Sparty. What does he prove? He's a 5-star recruit. Now, you can say what you want about like the recruiting system and all that stuff. That doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, Michigan has to get with the times, man. And when you do this, and again, Rack said it perfectly. Stats and accomplishments aside, they're going to have to start the 5-star or they won't be getting any more anytime soon. And you got to get 5-star players. You have to. Is everyone a lock? No, but you got to pepper the room with 5-stars, man.
I mean, if they don't, they'll go back to being 7-5, 8-4 every single year. And
they've mastered the schedule game.
But still, even with mastering the schedule game, if they can't get
10-4 is the new 7-5.
Fair enough, because there's more games, and because like they did this year, they could win 10 games with me starting at quarterback. Sure. I'll just be honest.
Yeah.
And I can't throw worth a damn.
Yeah, but that's what it is. It's deeper than the field. It's deeper than a game. It's deeper than one game. It's structurally for Michigan football. I'll tell you about the Sports Marketing Agency. They help spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their podcast is called This is the F Word. It's a series about fentanyl and the other addictions that, let's be real, everyone, they're plaguing our communities right now. Go to thesportsma.com if you're struggling. If you know somebody else who's struggling, go to thesportsma.com. The Sports Marketing Agency, they're here to help.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Detroit's downtown summer playground is back. Open all summer long, the Monroe Street Midway. Enjoy roller skating, free Wi-Fi, food trucks, art installations, and so much more. Don't forget to take advantage of the basketball court, putt-putt, and, of course, family programming all summer long. All art installations are done by Detroit artists, and it's a fun, safe event from people 1 to 100. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
What's up, everybody? This is Flannel Sam with the Foaling Warehouse, home of the football bowling game that it is in Hamtramck, Michigan. There are two ways to play. Michigan, yes. $12 unlimited play, or you can rent a private lane for $100. And if you want, you can visit their mystery beer machine. You put in $2, it puts out a beer of your choice, or you can go to their full bar where you can get anything you want. If you want to go visit, if you want to hear more information, go to thefoalingwarehouse.com. Again, that is thefoalingwarehouse.com.
Coming down the stretch here, final segment of the show on a Friday. We're live at the Darren McCarty golf outing. Links of Novi, Big D Energy here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name, Neal Ruhl. That guy, Jeff Iafrate, who's been the man here this week filling in. We have Stick on the ones and twos. Sam Flannel out here crushing people's souls because he is the legend killer. Wrapping up this JJ Cade McNamara discussion. Florida says Michigan will always get 5 stars. Well, Florida, I would ask you, do they really? Because they've only got 7 5-stars in the Jim Harbaugh era. So will they always get 5 stars?
And they also notoriously have had so many of them just flame out, and that's what scares me. But you got to at least get them. You got to get them if you want to develop them. And the winning programs, the programs that win national championships, they get 5 stars. It's not about the X's and the O's, as they like to say. It's the Jimmies and the Joes.
Doughboy Steve says so they attract another 5-star, and he sits behind JJ because he's a 5-star. Well, no, Doughboy Steve, like you keep getting the 5 stars, and then when they come in, you make a choice, and then the one who didn't get chosen has to go figure it out.
That's how it works in all the big programs. That's how it worked. Remember Jacob Eason and Jake Fromm. That's how it worked in Georgia. And I can count many other examples. I can't think of too many off the top of my head, but that happens everywhere.
Mm-hmm. I heard somebody talking about it a couple days ago. We were just talking about the Alabama stuff. I want to say the 2015 championship team. Don't quote me exactly. But at one time, Saban's coaching staff, Saban was a head coach. Kirby Smart was a defensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
Mario Cristobal was a lineman coach.
Yep.
Like it just, it just kept going on and on, man.
A lot of dudes.
Yeah, a lot of 5-star coaches out there. But as we said, it is a Friday. Any Ask Woodward. We like to do this last couple minutes. Ask Woodward in the YouTube chat thread. Fire away any kind of question that you guys might have. The away fan says we're another day closer to the NHL starting again, and that is true. That is true. And, YT Sparty, I doubt Michigan has had more than 2 5-stars in the last 20 years. But, it is true. It's what we said. Jim Harbaugh has only got 7 5-stars. So, and I'm not saying it's the end-all, be-all, but the more you have, the better you're going to be.
I mean, if you want to swim in those waters, you got to get the 5 stars, like the national championship level waters. Like go to the college football playoff and not get smoked by a better team waters.
Does Michigan, and Doughboy Steve says, I bet they have flannels with the block M on them.
Oh, I would absolutely rock one of those, especially if they beat Michigan State or if they beat Ohio State. I will.
Sleeveless?
Oh, on that day? Are you kidding me? I might open my chest. I don't even care.
Here's a great one for you, Sam Flannel, and I appreciate all you guys' thoughts and contributions. Chuck Brewer says, Neal, one more thing on Reggie Miller. Reggie wasn't even the best basketball player in his family. His sister was better.
Well,
Cheryl Miller was better.
Per capita, Cheryl Miller is the greatest female basketball player of all time. That's just facts. I'm not saying that carries a ton of weight. I'm actually surprised that Chuck Brewer's on my side about that one. We have had a lot of disagreements because he doesn't like stats and I do. So, Chuck Brewer, welcome to the team.
Hey, it's the truth.
Yeah.
Mel Tucker was the defensive backs coach on that team, too.
Oh, my God. Best coaching staff in the history of football.
Coming.
That's the best leadership in the history of organizations.
Oh, my God.
And they've learned from the greats. They're getting 5 stars, so give them credit.
Spencer wants to know, why is Jeff wearing a hat again? Why? You got to let that hair live, brother.
Uh-oh.
It was that prison comment the other day. That's what it was. Hi, this is D-Mac asking Woodward. Jeff, was it the prison comment that didn't make you, that you're trying not to be so... Because tell everybody, you wouldn't make it.
I wouldn't make it. In our Chad, the lovely Chad, he posed the question, would you take 10 half-court shots for a chance to win $100,000? If you miss them, you go to prison. And Spence was like, hell yeah, I'll do it. Spence will do fine in prison. I said I would attempt them, but I don't think I'd make it. If I don't make these shots, I don't think I'm ever coming back, Neal. I think I'm stuck.
You would die in prison.
and D-Mac even pointed out, he's the first one to point it out. He's like, Jeff, you'd be screwed. And I was like, hey, you're right. No, not even D-Mac can help me.
Coquet says, ask Woodward, if Cade starts, does JJ enter the transfer portal? Well, Coquet, I'd back it up and say, if I'm JJ, I entered the transfer portal after last year.
Hey.
If I don't go to Harbaugh's office and say, look, are we done with this nonsense? Am I starting or no?
Right.
Look me in the eye. Am I starting or no?
Yes.
And if the answer is no, then we chuck the we hit him with we chuck the deuces up and we're out. I mean, for real, because you're affecting my brand at that point, man.
The second the offseason started, he should have been named the starter. You can argue for 1 year, J.J. McCarthy's a freshman. He did spot duty. They still won the Big Ten. You can argue that, but if you want to be a real program, you got to start J.J. McCarthy. You got to tell him this is nonsense what they're doing right now. Absolute nonsense.
Tell him, Sam.
Austin Harris says, do the Red Wings contend for a playoff spot? In my opinion, we're in the toughest division in the NHL besides having Montreal. I think that, if you want to do it like this, I think the Red Wings are way more likely to contend for a playoff spot than the Pistons would be.
I'm the basketball guy. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Both things can be true. They're in a tough division, but I think the Red Wings can at least contend more so than the Pistons. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
They're farther ahead. And they're my team to first make the playoffs. I'm going with the Red Wings. As much as I love the Lions, and I think they're in a good position. It's the Yzerman thing, man.
9 Drink says, does Juicy J's hair look good when he wakes up? Does your hair look good when you wake up or not?
No. Guys, I'm not I get it. You have nice hair. You think that the person just wakes up in the morning. It's slick. It's nice. No, I'm a normal human being. I wake up. I'm looking rough.
He's just a man.
I'm a man.
He's just a man,
I'm a normal
everybody.
human.
Juicy J, appreciate you tapping in this
Neal.
week, brother.
You're the man.
Absolutely. Great job, as always. Big thanks to Stick, too. Stick made, people don't know it, man. Stick makes all this stuff go out here on site among
Stick's the
other
heartbeat.
people. Sam Flannel was out here early as well. Gentry's out. Everybody on site, man. Woodward, you guys are the best, man. Bottom line. Big thank you to Links of Novi for their hospitality as well. Myself and D-Mac will be back together on Tuesday. We got the college football dumb heavy next week, so get ready for that one. We will be doing it up. So for everybody here at Woodward Sports, live from the Links of Novi at the Darren McCarty Golf Outing, my name is Neal Ruhl. Thanks for tapping in to Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.